These are all the supplies that come in the DIY kit to make this baby dragonfly. The baby dragonfly is one of 4 bugs you can make from our Bugs Galore DIY kit. First off, we have the body. We have a set of wings in this sparkly fabric. And then we have the eyes out of this flat back crystals. We got some glue, and in order to apply the glue, we have a wooden stick. The following supplies are not included as part of the kit but are required. You need some kind of coloring implement. I am going to be using a paint marker, but you can use colored pencils, you could use regular markers, you could even use crayons. And then you also need a Sharpie or some other black permanent marker. While the following supplies are not required, I would recommend, because I'm going to be using a paint marker, I'm going to be using a disposable glove on one hand. Because my fingers are so big, I tend to like to have a tweezer, so it makes it easier for me to pick up and place the crystals onto the body as needed. And of course, paper towel and some paper to cover your work area. So the first step is to decorate the body of your baby dragonfly, and I decided to use paint markers for this. They dry a little bit faster than regular paint, regular like acrylic paint, but they give you the look and feel of paint. And as always, I say to make sure to decorate the edges of the wood pieces. It just gives it a finished overall look. And the back. Looks like I'm going to have to do this in 2 stages a little bit. Finish coloring this section and then let it dry a little bit on this side so that I can touch it without messing it up, and then finish the end. So I'm just going to put this down on parchment paper to dry a little bit, and I'll be back. So it's been about 5 minutes and it is dry enough to the touch that I can switch this around and continue decorating the edges. just checking the rest of it to make sure there are no blank spaces, and pretty much done. So I'm gonna set this aside for about 10 minutes. Make sure that it's totally dry before moving on to the next step. Go ahead and pause video until you are done coloring, then hit play. So the body is all dry and set and ready for the next step, which is drawing in the fine detail of the body. And for this, you need some form of permanent marker. Today I'm going to be using a ultra fine point Sharpie. And if you take a look at all the pictures of dragonflies, you will note that they have this detail on them. It's kind of like segmenting the body. So it's kind of like a little W. And with a line in the middle. So sometimes we'll make just this part here a little bit darker. Just that spot here. And then I'm going to just draw a line down the middle like that. And then from here, we are going to attach the wings and the eye. Now to attach the wings and the eye, you need your glue and your wings. So let me move them here just to make it a little bit easier. And of course, the eyes. And not to forget my handy dandy tweezers. I am going to go ahead and attach the wings first. So the way that you attach the wings, you attach them so that they go on at a slight diagonal shape like that. And like that. So you can work it a little bit, move it here and there, but pretty much that way it goes, and then the eyes go on there. Okay. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. I'm going to take my handy dandy stick that I used to apply the glue. So I'm just going to put the glue on here. Not too much, a little bit. And then take the first wing. Again, attaching it at a slight angle. And because this is a fabric type material, you don't need to add any more glue because it's going to seep through. So from here, as you can see, a little bit of glue attached on there. So that is on. And then I'm going to add a little bit of glue towards the tip of the body. And this is where the eyes are going to go. And you will note that the eyes are going to be really big for the body. But if you take a look at pictures of dragonflies, you will note that the eyes are kind of, for lack of a better word, buggy. They look too big for the body. And so crystals are going to help to create that. So now I'm going to be using the back end of my stick that doesn't have glue and just kind of help to push these in and place them correctly. Press it down a little bit. like that. And there, I'm just gonna set this aside for about, I don't know, maybe about 30 minutes, let it set, and then I will check on it. And if it's ready to go, you can stop playing with it. How long it takes is going to depend on how much glue you put on here. So I don't want this to fall out of place, so I'm just gonna slide it out of the way, and I will see you in about 30 minutes. So here is my baby dragonfly all done. I would love to see some of the creative touches that you put into yours. Please ask your parents to share a photo on Instagram and give us a shout out. For more craft ideas, don't you see some of our other DIY kits? Please visit us at workshopsair.com or check us out on Instagram.